Hi guys, this is Andy here, and this is the second video I'm doing about giving up cravings. Now, in the first video about cravings, I talked about a philosophy and how if we change our approach to beating cravings, then that will be far easier. And if we actually grow our diet from within and eat more of the good food and focus on eating more of the good food, we're going to be push the bad food, like the foods that are bad for us, out. And if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch it. It gives you a little bit more of a background as to what I'm talking about in this video. But for this video, I'm going to talk a little more detail and clarity about what foods we should be increasing and how much of them. Now, and the main goal for all of us is actually, feel full. I want us to simply create that sense of fullness throughout the day. And we create that sense of fullness by upping certain foods. If we feel full throughout the day, there's going to be less of a blood sugar rise, and we're also going to be able to keep off the bad foods. So in the last video, I talked about two areas, kind of protein and fiber, two simple areas that we can increase upon, we can focus on during the day to beat the cravings. And we'll talk about protein first. And why do I say raise the level of protein? There's many benefits to it, apart from feel fuller for longer. But what protein does is it activates a neurotransmitter called dopamine, which is an energizing neurotransmitter. And you normally get the full benefits of that during the breakfasts. If you have a high protein breakfast, that's going to elicit a dopamine effect. And that's going to give you more of a base for the rest of the day. Research has shown that actually if you eat a high protein breakfast, that you're more likely to pick good food choices throughout the day, so less likely to go to the foods that are bad for you, which is highly beneficial. And for me personally, up in the protein, specifically high protein breakfast, has been great for making me feel fuller for longer. Whereas if I eat more of a carb breakfast, I'm normally hungry about 2 to 3 hours. Whereas for a high protein breakfast, I can keep going until lunchtime, and it gives me good even amount of energy as well. So you're raising the levels. What levels do you want to raise them to? Raise protein to? Raise your levels to about at least a gram per kilo of your body weight. And if you're more active throughout the day, then go for 1.5 grams per kilo of your body weight and try and hit between those marks. They're quite conservative levels of protein and quite achievable levels of protein. You can go higher. That's always going to be beneficial. But for a starter's point, if you eat not a lot of protein during the day, then probably raise it to that level. Start with raising it to a gram per kilo of your body weight at least. You want to pick good sources of protein that have the full essential amino acid count, and we're talking about meat, poultry, fish, eggs, nuts. Also, maybe if you can tolerate dairy, maybe cottage cheese as well. The best ones for me is fish and eggs, not because they have the most amount of protein, but they have most of the protein they have, a large percentage of it is used by the body, and it can be used by the body. And also it's high in the good fats, the omega-3s, things like that we need to eat in our diet as well, very healthy. So fish and eggs, really priority, really good source of protein. For fiber, now the British guidelines in 2015 raised the recommended daily allowance of fiber for a male to 35 to 38 grams per day and a female 20 to 25 grams per day. That's going to be higher than most people probably take in, and they're saying that probably at the most, on average, the males are probably taking about 15 to 18 grams of fiber. And for me personally, looking at food diaries, I don't think they're even getting that amount, and not from good sources of fiber. Like everything, there's good sources of fiber and there's less good sources of fiber. And it's normally that those guidelines are based on the assumption that most people eat a grain-based diet. And grain-based sources of fiber, for me personally, in my own experience, not prioritizing it has always been helpful. So I put the grain-based sources of fiber on the back burner and not use it to our official levels of fiber, official levels of fiber that we need to take in. Why I say that, the grains they've got lots of fiber in there, but there's a lot of baggage with grains that's highly documented. We probably all know about them. A lot of our cravings come from grains as well, cakes, pastries. And also, although it's an energy source, I mean, bread, obviously we eat them, and all those sources, they're an energy source, good carbohydrate source, but there's healthier forms of carbs out there, which I'm going to demonstrate to you now. So what we want to prioritize ourselves, at the start at least, is to concentrate upping our fiber content, or non-grain based fiber content, to 20 grams. for a male, and maybe it's 15 grams for a female. So use that as a starting point. If we're doing that, then we're doing great things to make ourself feel fuller. Our digestive health is going to be a lot better, and that's digestive health. You need good digestive health, good gut health for weight loss as well. So making those boundaries and making those rules to hit those marks every day is a good habit to get to. And the best sources for fibre, non-grain based fibre, we'll go for the ones that are actually highest in fibre. A few examples. We've got avocado, which if you get a full avocado, you're getting between 8 and 10, maybe even 12 grams of fibre in a full avocado there, depending on the size as well. You obviously got artichoke as well, which is not, I don't think it's common in terms of us eating in terms of a vegetable, but that's very high in fibre. We have beans, mixed beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, and all sorts of beans there. These might take a long while. You have to soak them overnight and boil them for about 30-40 minutes, but these are very nutrient dense in fibre. I'd go for the cans. If you're looking for convenience, go for the cans. They got 10 grams of fibre in per can, and all you have to do is boil it for a couple of minutes in there. These are probably not what you want to eat every day, but they're a good source of fibre there. Normally the best, you've also got sweet potato. If you're getting a cup of that, that's going about 4 grams of fibre in there. If you've got quinoa, the same amount, probably a little bit less of fibre per cup. This is really high in protein, the essential amino acids, full essential amino acid count as well, really, really good as well. It's a great superfood. If you can actually get your sources of fibre, 20 grams of fibre from green vegetables or coloured vegetables or whatever, a wide variety of vegetables every day, then that's ideal, more than any other. Because there's less of a downside. There's more nutrients in there, but there's less of a downside of eating these foods. There are less calories in there as well. And if your calories in, calories out, calories are important to you in terms of your health and weight loss, then surely we'd be pushing towards getting more vegetables in there. And the vegetables you want to concentrate on the most ones, probably peas. They've got a cup has about 5 grams, over 5 grams of fibre in there. Fantastic. You've got green beans as well. And you're going to spinach, broccoli, all those sources. But go for a wide variety, as I say. Variety is spice of life. For a good health, you need a wide variety of vegetables. And if you're concentrating on building up your fibre content by eating green vegetables, then you can see that you're actually you're not concentrating on the cravings at all. In terms of they're going to be insignificant as well. Concentrate on that ideally, and you'll see the benefits in your health, but most importantly in your physique. I say again, there's great benefits and value in not eating the bad foods, but there's even greater benefits of eating the food that's good for us as well. If it's not the actual cake or pastry that you eat at tea time or lunchtime every day, it's what you eat from meal to meal to meal. If you build up the good foods in the meal to meal to meal, that you're setting yourself the foundation and you're concentrating on what is beneficial to your health. Do that, and then you'll see the greatest benefits to your health but your physique as well. Thanks for watching. Hope that was helpful, and speak to you soon.